Welcome to our second lesson on Google Sheets. In this lesson, we are going to learn about cell rows and columns and about the usefulness menu and toolbar options which Google Sheets has to offer. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the lesson by hopping on Google Sheets. As you can see that I have opened up my browser, which is Google Chrome, and also opened up Sheets. If you've seen my previous lesson, you already know how to open up Google Sheets now. Now, what we're going to do first is going to be starting off with a blank spreadsheet. So to open up a blank spreadsheet, first stay connected to your internet so that you can access Google Sheets and click on blank. And we'll take a bit of a time to open up your Google spreadsheet or Google Sheet. Now, when you open up this sheet, you have this cells which you can enter your data over wherever you want, right? Let's type in a couple of data. You can see now I have a couple of data in my rows and also my columns. You can see it is starting from A to the utmost or the ending, which is Z, and from here, which is kind of, let's type in control and then end to see where it ends. You can see it is ending on the 1000. Okay, now you can also make more if you want to, but I'm gonna do is press on control and up so that I can go to the topmost cell. Now the first thing we have to learn about is the cells, rows, and columns. If you know, or if you've worked with Excel, or if you've seen our previous videos on Excel, then you already know how Excel works or how spreadsheet works. There are basically cells where you put in your information or your data so that you can validate them. Okay, so in this columns and rows, there are two types of cell reference. One is relative cell reference and one is absolute cell reference. Well, this basically works as Excel. You can see it has almost the same functionality of Excel, but instead of being powered by Microsoft, it is being powered by Google so that you can give access to a lot of people, because not everyone has a Microsoft account, but everyone, almost all the people in the world have Gmail or Google account, so that you can give access to them and they can work with it and you can share it whenever you want. Let's say this is a specific cell, which is A1, and then we have is A2, A3, A4, and then continuing. So you have to learn about that. You have cell, rows, and columns at the same time, even though if you have cell, rows, and columns, well, cell, rows, and columns also have a definite function, let's say formula or even functionality. Let's say I'm going to do is type in equal, and then you can type in cell. You can see when you type in cell, it's going to give me the same function or open up the same function which we did in Microsoft Excel. Now you have to put in your info type, and what are the info types? You can put in whichever type of info you want. Let's say I'm going to type in col, which is columns. You can type in columns if you want to, but I'm going to type in just col, or you can select any type of cell. Let's say I'm going to put on this cell and click on this, and you will find out an A. Wrong. But basically what happens is that you have to put in the info type. Let's say you have to type in col, which is the column, and then select the specific cell. So I'm going to type in col, comma, and you can select this reference, close it off, and you can get it. So just like this. But here what I'm going to do is going to be clicking on double quotation and try this and see. Now you can see that is now on the second column. So this is basically how the cell function works in Microsoft, or let's say in spreadsheet. Well, both of them work the same way, but this is how it works in Google Sheets. Now we are done with our cell. Let's show you how the rows work. Let's type in equal row, open up the parentheses, and now select the specific cell reference. Let's say I'm going to use this. I'm going to close out the parentheses, and you will see in row it will give me second two at the same time, because now it is on the second row of Google Sheets. So this is how the row function works in Google Sheets. Okay, and the last one we have is column. In column we have to type in column. Now select the specific cell, so I'm going to select this, and it will give me the column number of that, which is 1. And if I did this over here, it would have given me 2. Now, how are you going to use that in a specific function or a specific, let's say, formula? Let's say I'm going to use this equal, and I'm going to put in sum. Now here in sum, I'm going to use column And then I'm gonna do is first off type in column. Column number is going to be this. I'm gonna close it off, and then I'm gonna put in another one, which is going to be, let's say I'm gonna put another value, which is comma, and then column number, let's say this. Close off the parentheses, close off the parentheses again, hit on enter, and you can see 3. Because why is it 3? Because this is cell, or let's say column 2, and column 1, 2 and 1 is equal to 3, so I got 3 as an answer. You can also use rows and columns and also cell reference wherever or however you want it to be. So now you know how cell, rows, and columns work in Google Sheets. And about selective, or let's say I'm going to use another one. Let's say I'm going to type in a couple of values over here. Let's type in 3, let's type in 4, let's type in 2. I'm going to remove this. Now, what I'm going to do is going to be typing in equal, and then I'm going to use sum. Now here I need value 1 and value 2, or how many values according to your need. Now first things first, I'm going to do is sum these up and hit on enter. And now I have this 4 as an answer because these 2's are being selected and being termed as the result. But what if I need or use this fill header? So when I use the fill header, I will get the exact answer of the next one. But what if I use a specific cell reference, which is going to be absolute cell reference? Let's say I'm going to type in F4 and F4 at the same time, hit on enter. And when I use the fill header, you will basically see all of them will be 4, because now it is terming only a specific cell to be the exact result or exact source. Okay, so we have 4 as 2 and 2, but not 3 and 4. So when I remove the cell reference or absolute cell reference from over here, you will basically see that it will turn now to be, when I use the fill header, it will give me the exact answer, which is 7 of the next one. So it is now terming these ones too. Instead, when we lock in our value by clicking on F4 and toggle it up, it only selects the specific cell which we are using. Okay, so now you know how the cell, rows, and columns work and how the cell reference works. So now we're going to learn about the useful menu and toolbar options which Google Sheet has to offer. First off, we have is this file tab. In the file tab, we have new, open, import, make a copy, share, email, download, rename, move, add a shortcut to drive, move to bin, version history, make available or offline, details, settings, and all of those. Well, that's basically what the file tab is all about. I'm going to show it to you in the next lesson about how it works in the file tab, edit tab, view tab. But let's go on edit. In our edit tab, we have undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, paste special, delete, find, and replace. Well, most of the actions are commands which you have in Google Sheets have a specific shortcut key on your keyboard so that you can use it and become more efficient with Google Sheets while working on it. Show, freeze, and group on view. Then we have insert, which is cell, rows, columns, sheet, chart, pivot table, and all of those. Then in format, you have theme, number, text, alignment, wrapping, rotation, font size, conditional formatting, altering, colors, clear formatting. In our data section, we have sort, sheets, create a filter, filter views, add a slicer, protect sheets and ranges. We're going to also show it to you later on how protecting your sheets and ranges work. Then we have is named ranges, named functions, columns, stat, data validation, data cleanup, split text column, data extraction, data connector. Then in tools, we have create a new form, spelling, autocomplete, explore, notification setting, accessibilities, and extensions, which is, adding up extra stuff or adding up extension on Google Sheets while you're working on it so that you get more functionality. You can do that too. And you can also record macros in Google Sheets. And last we have is help. In our help section, we have search the menus, Sheets help, training updates, and a lot of these privacy policies, terms and services, and also report abuse. So now you know about how the menu bar works and also about the cell, rows, and columns of Microsoft, or let's say Google Sheets. Now let's move on to our next lesson where we are going to learn about language and spreadsheet settings and also about the recovery and edit history.